Hey, Cowboys Nation. The Dallas Cowboys are on a mission to keep getting better and stronger every week. After all, it's all about bringing those wins back to the fans and making sure we're competing at the highest level. If you love seeing the Cowboys improving, don't forget to hit that like button to support the channel. And let's dive into today's exclusive news. First off, let's talk about what happened in last week's big win against the New York Giants. It was a hard-fought 20-15 victory that showed the Cowboys are back on top, and one player who made his mark was none other than our star wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb. Lamb kicked things off with a massive 55-yard touchdown that set the tone for the game. But, as you might have noticed, his excitement after the play caught the referee's attention. Unfortunately, the league decided that Lamb's celebration was a little too much, and he was hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But it didn't stop there. Lamb picked up not one, but two unsportsmanlike conduct penalties during the game, which led to the NFL slapping him with a pretty hefty fine. Now, Cowboys fans, we all know how intense these games can get, and emotions run high, especially when you're dominating your rival like that. But it looks like the league is cracking down harder than ever on celebrations, and Lamb is now paying the price for his enthusiasm. Let me know in the comments. Do you think the fine was justified? Should players be allowed a little more freedom when they're out there making game-changing plays? Or is the NFL going too far with these penalties? I want to hear what you guys think. Now, moving on to another important story that's been buzzing around the Cowboys camp, our defensive powerhouse, Micah Parsons. As you all know, Parsons has been an absolute force since joining the Cowboys in 2021. He's been a relentless competitor, showing up week after week, no matter the bumps and bruises. But sadly, his Iron Man streak came to an end last week. In Week 4 against the Steelers, Parsons suffered a high ankle sprain that forced him out of the game. For a lot of Cowboys fans, that was a scary moment. Parsons has been a constant on the field, and seeing him go down was a big concern. Fortunately, the injury wasn't as serious as we feared, but it was enough to sideline him for the Week 5 matchup. This marks the first time Parsons has missed a game due to injury in his entire football career. Think about that for a second. Since high school, through college at Penn State, and into his NFL career, this guy hasn't missed a single game until now. That's an incredible record of durability, and it shows just how tough Parsons is. He played in all 16 games his rookie season, and all the 17 game seasons after that, not to mention every playoff game the Cowboys have had since he joined the team. Even though he's out for now, you can bet Parsons is doing everything in his power to get back on the field as soon as possible. But the big question is, will this injury slow him down in the long run, or is Parsons going to come back stronger than ever? What do you guys think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we all know how crucial he is to our defense. Today, we're talking about none other than the man at the helm, our team's owner and general manager, Jerry Jones. Jerry recently made some headlines, as he often does, with a bold statement in an interview on 105.3 The Fan. During the interview, Jerry dropped a bit of a bombshell when he admitted that the Cowboys are in what he calls a soft rebuild. That's right, Jerry Jones, the guy who always talks about winning now, is acknowledging that the team is rebuilding. When asked if the team was in a soft rebuild, Jerry's response was simple. Yes, I think you've hit it on the head. You're right. Now, I know a lot of fans out there are raising their eyebrows at this. Some are wondering, if we're rebuilding, why do we just shell out huge contracts to guys like Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb? And others are simply not happy with the message this sends. From my perspective, this is a pretty big deal because it's a clear sign that the front office knows this team isn't quite in championship form yet. But what does this really mean for the Cowboys' near future? That's exactly what we're going to dig into today. No major in-season trades coming. If you've been dreaming of another blockbuster trade like the one that brought us Amari Cooper a few years ago, I hate to break it to you, but you might want to temper your expectations. There's been some talk over the last few days about whether the Cowboys might make a move for a star like All-Pro receiver Devonte Adams. Well, Sources have confirmed that the front office has no interest in making that kind of trade right now. The reason? The Cowboys are focused on preserving their draft capital for the future, and they want to see how their current roster performs. So that means no big trade splashes this season, not just for Adams, but likely for any other major trade target you might have had in mind. It's a frustrating reality for fans who would love to see an immediate infusion of top-tier talent. But it's also a smart move that the team is, indeed, in the midst of this soft rebuild. As exciting as it would be to bring in a big name, one player isn't going to completely fix this roster. The Cowboys need to stockpile draft picks, especially if they're planning to make some key roster changes in the coming seasons. What do you guys think? Would you like to see the Cowboys go all in on a big trade, or are you okay with the team focusing on the future? Let me know in the comments below. Veteran players could be leaving soon. Now, if you thought the lack of trades was disappointing, wait until you hear this. There's a strong chance that some of our veteran players might be playing their last season in Dallas. That's right. We could be saying goodbye to some big names soon, and I'm talking about guys like Zach Martin and DeMarcus Lawrence. Both Martin and Lawrence are key veterans on this team, and they've been with the Cowboys for years, but they'll be free agents in 2025. The harsh truth is, with the way things are going and considering their age and contracts, it's hard to imagine the Cowboys bringing all of them back. Osa Odigizwa and Brandon Cooks are also in similar situations, so it's possible that we'll be seeing even more roster turnover in the near future. I know, none of us want to hear this. Zach Martin is a Cowboys legend, and DeMarcus Lawrence has been a dominant force on defense for so long. But with the team in a soft rebuild, it's going to be tough to pay big money to all these veterans. The front office will likely prioritize younger talent and high draft picks over keeping expensive veterans around. And that's just part of the rebuilding process. Decline in wins expected during the rebuild. Here's something else we need to talk about. Cowboys fans might need to lower their expectations when it comes to regular season wins, at least for a little while. During the Mike McCarthy era, we've gotten used to dominating the regular season, but things are changing. As our 2-2 record suggests, this year's team doesn't have quite the same level of talent as previous years, especially in key areas like running back, wide receiver, and the offensive line. It's hard to replicate back-to-back 12-win seasons when you're in the midst of a rebuild, even a soft one. The key here is to maintain the core of the team while bringing in new talent through the draft. Think about it like this. When we drafted Marshawn Kneeland, that was a clear signal that he's likely going to be the successor to DeMarcus Lawrence by 2025. On the offensive side, we're already seeing rookies being groomed to replace guys like Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz. This strategy can work, and it's proven to be successful before, but it's tough when you're used to seeing the Cowboys winning big. But here's something interesting. Jerry Jones' ego isn't getting in the way of this rebuild, at least not yet. He's fully bought in, which is something we haven't always seen in the past. Wrapping it up, Cowboys Nation. This team is constantly evolving, learning from every game, and working to bring the best results for us, the fans. CeeDee Lamb's fire and passion on the field are what make him such an exciting player to watch, and Micah Parsons' determination to fight through injuries and be there for his team shows why he's already becoming a Cowboys legend. I want to hear from you all. Do you agree with the NFL's decision to find CeeDee, and how do you think Parsons' absence will affect the team moving forward? Let's get the conversation started in the comments. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the latest Cowboys news. We've got a long season ahead, and you won't want to miss a single update. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.